What you're about to see is a Channel 4 News exclusive.
We want to call out Baker Drinks, but it started with Bad Axe Bourbon.
Welcome back to Bad Axe Bourbon. I'm Bobby. Here we go.
I'd like to call out Independent Joe.
I think that's a good list. I'd love to see any of them do it. I'm not sure any of them will, but that's okay too.
I want to see what Independent Joe drinks in private. Which one of his $40 bottles?
Joseph, where are you? Hey. What are you doing?
I'm having some whiskey in private. Having, a little night snack. Actually, these are from Trev, who sent me crayons for my birthday. He said he sent me the 64 pack. I think he went a little short on that, but yeah, I'm having some whiskey here with my Slayer thing. Oh yeah, and I'm having a little bit of some Fireball with my whiskey too. Yeah.
I hope that's not my Fireball. And why can't you drink in private in the bar?
Well, I thought this was private, but yeah, I'm just having some samples from some cool people like Eric Gunderson and Baker Drinks, so that's pretty cool. And speaking of Baker Drinks, kind of got to get ready for that battle that's going to happen on in next week on Wednesday, so make sure that you're there, whoever's watching this.
And you're drinking this in private?
Well, it was private. Thanks a lot.
Well, okay. I'll leave you to it. By the way, don't you have a Bad Axe Bourbon challenge to do? Sent to you by Baker Drinks? Sent to them by the Bourbon Note? Sent by the awesome Mrs. Bad Axe Bourbon?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? That's actually about to start right now.
And here we
go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Welcome, family and friends, to another episode of Independent Joe. This is a little bit different. This is one of those challenge type, videos, content. Mrs. Bad Axe Bourbon had set something up for Mr. or does he call him Mr.? Does he call himself Mr.? Oh, Bad Axe Bourbon. We all know who he is. But she had set something up for him, and then he challenged some people's, and they challenged some people's, as you saw in the video. Bourbon Note then went to Baker Drinks, and then they challenged me. So I took up the challenge. I said, okay, since we're going to take up a different challenge next week, as I said in the video, don't forget, Wednesday next week, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, be there, be square, all that stuff. Enough about that, though. This right here is about the challenge. I guess this is kind of like one of those things where it's like personal. It's something where it's how you feel about what you're drinking and the type of stuff you drink. I guess sometimes when nobody's watching, or maybe it started early, where it all started, and I guess when I'm going through these, I'll try to explain some of those. So if some of these don't fit your palate, or maybe you don't agree with it, don't worry, don't feel all bad, or don't have any
emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Don't have any emotional damage, anything like that, and everything will be all right. But I was thinking of doing something funny. I was actually going to do like a bottle for bottle. Everything that they said that they had picked, I was going to do the same exact bottles. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'll actually put a little bit of thought into this, and pick some different bottles that, maybe some people haven't heard of, or maybe some people aren't thinking about. And this is just one of those personal things. So, they said their list, Bourbon Note said theirs, and of course, You had the original Bad Axe Bourbon. Talk about his. So there's 5 different categories. One of them is the pour, and that's just a budget whiskey. Then you have your ballers pour, something that you feel that is, I guess, something crazy, something cool, maybe something that it might be a little pricey to some people. It might not. Depends on what it is, but that's your baller pour, something you could brag about, I guess. Your proud pour, something you're proud to have, something that you own that maybe other people may not have. I guess it's kind of like the baller pour. But I guess you can call it what you want. So I kind of separated. I have of course, a little story behind each of one of these picks that I did. And also I have the illegal pour. Now the illegal pour kind of sounds illegal, right? Something wrong, something that you did wrong. Well, all of us grew up, I guess, in a different time. You know, you had that friend whose uncle, whose dad, who's somebody else, your auntie who maybe went and said, hey, you want to try some of this, or you want to do, you have a drink of this, or whatever the case is. You had maybe different people in your life that you knew that you probably shouldn't be drinking it at a certain age, or maybe something that maybe what started it all, I guess. And that's kind of where I went with it. Something that I did have maybe at a younger age that grew up and maybe appreciated a little bit differently. Which I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't agree with me on that one, but hey, it is what it is. It is kind of where I started. So also, then you have your private pour, the stuff that you drink in private. And as you've seen in the video, I don't think I'm going to go too far away from that because to me, well, I'll get into that once I get to the private pour. So I'll talk about that. So first up is your pour.
Number 1.
And don't mind the eerie music and stuff on these, because I was going to do this thing a while ago. It was kind of be themed after Halloween. So some of these are kind of like the little spooky music in the background, but don't get scared. Okay. Don't get scared. All right. So the pour is pour, budget whiskey, right? And what I picked, something easily attainable around me. Something that I can always count on finding, something I can, it's something that I know ain't going to break the bank. It varies in price. It could be anywhere from $25 to $35, which is pretty cool because those are the kind of bottles you want. I know some people would probably pick, I think Baker Drinks picked the E.H. Taylor Bottle and Bond. Those ones are kind of hard to find around me. Even ordering online is kind of hard to find those bottles, so I kind of steer away from those. I liked their pick with the Old Forester 100. I have that all as well. But my pick is the Smoke Wagon. Smoke Wagon straight bourbon whiskey. Really like this one. Excuse me. I've got a little bit of gas there in my chest. Huh. I was having a little bit of whiskey too, so it's supposed to kill that, but it didn't. Anyways, straight bourbon whiskey. I guess they would call. Some people would call it their bottom shelfer. To me, I think it's fantastic. It's a very nice pour, Indiana whiskey. I like what Aaron is doing with this whiskey right here. I don't know what he does differently, but this is one Indiana whiskey I really appreciate. I know a lot of people gravitate towards Indiana whiskey. Myself, I'm a Kentucky whiskey guy first. I'm a big Heaven Hill guy, and Wild Turkey, stuff like that. Although I didn't put any of that in here, so don't get that mixed up. These are just some thoughts that I put together. So, but this is one of those Indiana whiskeys that I really appreciate because of the price point. I know I can find it. Got a mess of them over here, so that if I ever run out of this, I got another ones. Then they come out with the holiday bottle shapes. They got the nice little tagging on here. I just really like this bottle, so it's one of my favorites. And that is the pour. So yeah. Whew. Now, a lot of words. So let's go on to the next one, and that one is the
Number 2.
the baller pour. Okay, I kind of put a little, it's probably not what you would expect as a baller pour, but for me, this is pretty cool because I know a lot of people had it at first, or a few people at least for this barrel had it at first, but I know now because I kind of jump around from whiskey to whiskey when I'm having whiskey, so I really don't have like one that I continually drink all the time and to finish the bottle. I just like to jump around, have different flavors. A lot of people like to do that. Myself, for my baller pour is a baller drink, and that would be the Lob Creek pick by ADHD whiskey. I like to pour. This is actually what I'm having right now. Really nice, really great flavors, and I like this one. And this is my baller pour. It's got a little basketball. Playing basketball right here for Lob Creek, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to have this one. And if you have it, let me know what you think about it. Put in the chat if you had this or any of these that I'm about to bring up. Let me know what you think of them. What your thoughts are on these bottles. I'm sure some of you have already had this one. If you haven't, I don't know. I like it. It's pretty good. It's very good. There's another. This is a Kentucky Knob Creek. So got some Indiana here. Got some Kentucky. Right now, I'm going to the next one, and this one is the Proud Pour.
Number 3.
The Proud Pour for me is a bottle. I didn't realize I have a bottle that has a signature on it. It's pretty cool. My buddy Mark had somebody on his channel who was part of this. I'll just bring up the bottle so that you know. Horse Soldier, and the master distiller / owner of Horse Soldier during one of his distiller's perspectives, he had them on his channel, and I wasn't sure who had signed the bottle, and he knew exactly who signed the bottle, and I thought it was pretty cool. Proud to own it now, for even more, even though I'm honestly proud to own it anyways. But this one right here was signed by Captain Mitch Nelson, the guy. If you watched 12 Strong, he was the one who played Captain Mitch, or not Cap. Well, Captain Mitch Nelson was Chris Hemsley. So Hemsworth. Sorry, Hemsley. Where did I get Hemsley from? Hemsworth. So Chris Hemsworth played Captain Mitch Nelson, and that's actually whose on this bottle, which is pretty cool, right? So that's why I thought, well, you know what? Now it makes it even more special. And now I was like, as you can see, I'm like drinking this one, also sipping on it slowly because I don't want this bottle to disappear just like this one. And of course, this one, I mean, we can I could get it all day. All right, the next pour is the
Number 4.
It's the illegal pour. Okay. Most of us, when we start our journeys and, being young and stuff like that, you're offered different drinks. Nobody says, hey, you want a whiskey? Do you want it neat? Do you want it on the rocks? Nobody gives you a choice. They put it in a blender, or they put some ice in there, and they put some, Coke in it or whatever it is, and then they hand it to you. One of the big drinks that I had growing into whiskey was, and one of my first drinks was a Jack and Coke. This one right here is also a kind of a sentimental bottle. This is one that where I kind of started my whiskey journey. I tried to get into it. I heard a lot about it. This bottle right here is like 8 years old, or not, actually even older than that. This bottle is old. I'll have to find out for sure, like how I know it's really old. I was like, I think it was during my first and not second, I think maybe my second enlistment that I got this bottle. So it was far back, and I was like, going to the different party scene and stuff like that. People would just, hey, you want a Jack and Coke? Vodka, orange juice, or just those different drinks. of course, you know, you got the schnapps, like peppermint schnapps and strawberry schnapps and all those different type peach schnapps. And then when you actually drink too much of that stuff, then it tastes the same going in as it does coming out. So, but this right here was kind of my first whiskey indirectly because of the mixed drinks, the Jack and Coke and stuff like that. So, and then when I got older and I was able to buy different, you know, my own whiskeys or my own drinks, you know, I got curious and I bought, you know, this one. And this one was kind of like not my favorite. I had poured it and I drank it and I was like, yeah, you know what, whiskey ain't my thing. So I continue, you know, you start to continue drinking, like, you know, different mixed drinks, different drinks that, you know, it's just not something part of your palate. And then of course, if you know me or you know the channel, my buddy Adam down there, Skiatook Max Barbecue, check it out, Skiatook, Oklahoma. He actually got me into savoring the flavor of different whiskeys, and one of my favorite whiskeys, or one of my first whiskeys actually, is the Henry McKenna. So the Henry McKenna was one of the ones that he got me into as far as drinking first, and then you know, trying to savor the flavor. And then I years later, I think last year, I remembered I had this bottle and tasted it again, and then I was like more appreciative. I actually like this bottle. I don't know how it is now, but this is a bottle from, like, I would probably venture to say it might be even around 20 years old, and there's still a lot in there because, again, another bottle I'm not trying to drink down. This is one of my story bottles, and I think this is what this is when you're talking about this type of list, how personal it is to yourself. So it's not something that everybody's going to agree with. So when you, after this video, make sure that you put in the comments, let me know your stuff, what's personal to you, that what you like, what started you off in this, or what were you drinking when you weren't supposed to, you know, or what's your baller pour and you're proud to own, or your poor man's whiskey, you know. And I got the last category, so let's get into that. But before I talk about that one, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you like this comment, if you like this content, make sure to let me know. Let me know what you like about it. Let me know about these bottles, if you've had them all, if you're still drinking this, if let's see, if you have this bottle or something similar, and same with these other ones. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Also, you know, Patreon, you know, I got thank you again for the new Patreon, Pinterest Griffith. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining on this ride. Welcome back, Brian L. Really appreciate you too, and thank you everybody on the square right here for taking this journey with me. Love you guys and really appreciate you. And let me get to this last one here. And the last one is
Number 5.
the private pour. The private pour is something, I guess, you drink in private. You saw what I drank in private, and you know what? I'm sticking to it. I have, you know, different people, different times. Sorry if your bottle's not up here or if you sent me something. But Eric Gunderson is really big on stuff that maybe he knows that I haven't tried. Really awesome. Thank you for being a Patreon, by the way. And Whiskey Fancies have sent me a lot of whiskeys. They actually sent me the whole 12 days before Christmas last year. If you can go back and look at those, if you're interested. Not a lot of views on those. I'm still gonna do it this year, but I'm gonna do this year. I'm gonna do bottles that I haven't reviewed, regardless if I've tried them or not. There's some that I've tried and I didn't review them. I don't know why. I should have, but I cracked them on other channels and stuff like that. So, and then Baker Drinks also send me a few samples and stuff like that. And that's what this community is about. So if you want to know basically what I drink in private, because a lot of these is stuff that I use for the channel, is stuff where I'll have with other people on the channel and stuff. And that's probably where most of my, if I have a drink or a pour, I like to have it with friends. I like to have it with you guys in the chat, on screen. So if I'm at home and I feel like maybe I want to try something, I'm going to pop one of these open. I'm going to pop one of these samples from my good friends and see what it is that they like or what they appreciate, and go from there. But mostly, as far as opening one of my $40 bottles, I save that for you guys, and I save that so that I can drink with friends such as yourselves online. Other than that, I rarely pop open these bottles to drink by myself. So not many times I drink it private, but when I do, it's a sample. And I sound like I was talking in circles, right? Maybe I pour. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to everybody out there. Here's the Glen. Cheers to everybody out there. Thank you for your support. Again, hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And cheers to you all. Yo. Love Creek. Ooh, nice hug. Nice Kentucky hug. But yeah, so let me know what you like, what you appreciate, all your different categories. If you didn't like this video,
stop it. Get some help.
just kidding. But yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you for your time, and I'm gonna go ahead and see you on the next one. Cheers, everybody. How do I clock?
Felicia.
Okay, that's the wrong one. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, Wednesday, next week, Baker Drinks versus Independent Joe. All right. I don't know how, I should have won the Academy Award for that video that started at the beginning, right? I'm going to have to submit that to Cannes. But anyways, cheers, everybody. Love you. Thank you. Cheers.